It's there! Holy moly, this one's going to go big.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Right, up and over Mark 2. We're going to have a second shot at this one. Try and correct the mistakes that were in the first video and make some kind of additions of things that I literally didn't know about in the first video. So I'm going to do the gameplay first, then I will do all the waffle on this one. I just want to get straight into the gameplay. We will try and take a scotch of jackpots out of this, and then we'll have a look at what's different from the way that I'm playing it now and the way that I was playing it in the first video. That's a shifty one already. You can reverse on fours, but the problem is it's got a little bit of natural value in it, so I possibly should actually go with the odds on. We actually want £1.20 there. I should possibly go with the odds on a 4 because it has got a little bit of natural value in it. Not much, it's not wildly under percentage or anything like that, but see, okay, that should work. Yeah, there we are. We'll go with the numbers on go with the odds rather on a 3. It's just these 4s and 9s that are going to be a little bit fishy. You could almost make a case of going with the odds on that. Yeah, there we are. Until it's actually settled down. I could probably get it off the cash stack here, couldn't I? If I want to. That should work on a reverse though. And then what I'll do there is go with the 10 because it's in a spot where that should work. There we are. So not exactly what we wanted. We possibly, the better way to get it is arguably off the big money sort of balloon things there. But that'll do. Because at this moment in time, the machine has a little bit of natural value in it. Once you've got rid of the natural value, the reversing really comes into its own. So with one jackpot out of the way there, I'd expect the reversing to come in a little bit more. Now, you actually want, on selector, you want £1.20. And this is one of the main things here, is the route. The route that you want to take is note, note, double note, note. That is the way that you want to be going. That is the quickest way to the jackpot. It is the fewest number of gambles. So this is why you want to go in on a £1 or £1.20, because a £1 starts you on cash flash, £1.20 starts you on £1 or 1 knockout. Oh, that's another shitty one there. 4 and 9. Depends how, because you can reverse on those. There we are. Yeah, it's probably at the point now where we want to be reversing on 4s and 10s. We'll try it on that one. There we are. The problem with going in at £1.60 or £1.60 in particular is bad because you miss the first note. That's the problem. Right, so we'll go low. I think lower than a 10 should work here. Yeah, there we are. And now we've got the no-lose gamble. So I'm not fucking about here. We're just getting this one done properly. And then I'll go through the background because there was quite a bit of... This is the thing. The original video on Up and Over that was uploaded nearly a month ago now. Quite a lot of response to that. There were a fair few comments. We had a chat about it over at Desert Island Fruits, and I had a chat with a guy over at Casinomeister about it as well, who actually played one. Can we get a repeat? No. Who actually played these back in the day, and he put a little bit more information into the mix. And I also carried on playing it after I finished the previous video. Now, if you remember, the previous video was made on an old layout. One of the old, going back to sort of 2004, 2005 or so. This is a new DX. Now, this is a Tommy C DX. I'll go into that a little bit more as well. But I was a playtester for this. Tommy C sent me this over to playtest. Myself and Logopolis were the playtesters on this. And he loaded in the 0.3 ROMs. And that worked very well for me because not only was I able to playtest it extensively, because I also had the 0.3 ROMs in there, it gave me a chance to really kick it about a bit. Come on, win that one. It should, go on. Really played this one quite a lot more, and with a combination of the comments, there's final reverse on this 7 here. And we've got another jackpot. Come on. Oh, you fucker. There was no cause for it to do that. I've put a lot of money through this, many hours of play, and I thought it was worth another video because I didn't want there we are, hold after nudges on that. I wanted to get this one right. It's an interesting machine, this, and the video that I made last month, honestly, I don't think really did it justice. Even though I did say in the previous video that part of the point of the previous video was that I was just going to kind of... I knew that I was playing it imperfectly. And I did say as much as well, in fairness to myself. But there was some stuff in there, frankly, which was inaccurate. Some of the information that the CMA originally... So this is one of the main ones. If you remember, in the last video, 4s and 9s were considered dodgy, and you wouldn't want to reverse on them. That's not true. 4s and 9s are... I was scared of 4s and 9s in the original video. If you remember, there's no reason to be scared. That might lose, but there we go. There's no reason to be scared of 4s and 9s. You can just reverse on them exactly the same as you... So this should now work on a 4. Go on. There we are, and that's a jackpot. So that's one of the critical ones, is 4s and 9s are perfectly safe to reverse on. Particularly once the natural value is taken out of the machine, you want to be reversing on 4s and 9s. Oh, that doesn't really matter, does it? Wonder, can I actually get a big money there? I could actually get a big money there, couldn't I? Because if I get... No, go on, shall we do that? Shall we actually have... shall we have a big money? Because we can easily get the big money. So there we are. So that is at least another 15 quid. So yeah, a couple of key takeaways. First of all, 4s and 9s, fine, reverse on them. Not a problem. You saw I was very scared of 4s and 9s in the previous video. The other main one, and this is thanks to Jono over at Casinomeister, I'll bring the thread up. Get rid of changed numbers. I watched the... Go on, are you going to carry on? Oh, no. I watched the original video back last night just to kind of go over what I'd said and what I'd got wrong and what could be improved. And one thing that I realised I was doing in the original video... See here, I'm starting the board with 2 changed numbers. I'm just getting rid of them straight away. That was something that Jono said over at Casinomeister. He used to do these for real, and he was like, get rid of the change numbers. He doesn't like you having them. Unless you've got like 1s or 12s, just get rid of them. Try and get... oh, that was slightly unfortunate. Try and get rid of them, just to see if you can get a pair bonus off them and bin them off, because it gets far more kill happy when you have got change numbers. So what I do at board entry now... in most circumstances is just get rid of the change numbers. There's no point having them stuck around because the machine will get more kill happy when you've got them in the bank. Let's see if we can it should be tightening up a little bit here. It had a bit of a drift in its favour. It had a little bit of natural value in it, but not much. And there's no point doing a video where I'm just playing a machine that's off its tits, because that doesn't really demonstrate much. So I've got the change, get rid of the change number there. Oh, the other thing that I said as well, I was very wary about reversing on a number into... So you see there, I didn't want to reverse on the 8 because I had an 11. Doesn't really matter. I think that was just duff information on the CMA list, because you don't really need to worry too much about that. So we should be able to reverse that. There we go. And the other thing is, in extremis, you can reverse... Oh! You can reverse 3s and 10s, but not reliably. That is the thing. So we're not going to get any kind of hold after nudges there. 3s and 10s, if in a pinch, you can reverse 3s and 10s, but not with any kind of consistency. They're kind of like an emergency final shout, get out of jail free card. I've really played around with this. Sometimes you can reverse on 3s and 10s, mainly when the thing is on its bones, on the bones of its arse, and you are just trying to get a final jackpot out of it. Sometimes you can reverse on 3s and 10s and it will let you do it, but not consistently. And as far as I can tell, it will never let you reverse on 2s and 11s. I have tried that on many occasions. You're not going to be able to reverse on 2s or 11s. So that's a shit one there. You can see it's tightened up now. It's not particularly wanting to put us on the board, but I'm hoping we can just... I want to get the bank up to maybe 75. This has been a bit of a pig here, just putting me on the board, isn't it? Come on, put me in. Well, that is really shit. There's nothing I can do there, is it? But to just try and get an easy hold. And it only needs to hold once at the top. It's just been a fucking twat now, isn't it? Come on. Oh, hoping it might hold them. There we are. We are in. So, yeah, you can see it's climbing up a bit. So, obviously, there's no point using a change number there. And I'll keep it there because I've got an 11. And what I might do is actually use it to get rid of that 3, because 3s, I don't like 3s and 10s are actually the numbers that I like the least. They're the ones which, come on, oh, that was a bit harsh. It's still as you can see, it's still by no means a guaranteed thing. But 3s and 10s are the ones that I haven't really been able to properly work out. Sometimes you can reverse them, but sometimes it'll just kill you. It has been suggested in comments in the previous video that the time to reverse on 3s and 10s is when all the value's been taken out of it, but I just didn't find that it did it consistently. Come on, it's really gone nasty here, hasn't it? Come on, just put me in again. Ooh, it's not wanting to give a board here, is it? Come on. What have we got there? No. We can get a bonus there at least. Let's see. Oh, skill stop. Well, we can't miss on that. We want 120. There we are. And you'll see that 120, because it gives us that. Oh, it actually gave us the first note already. I'll save the change number there. And then I'm going to get rid of the change number there. Because at that point, you want to get rid of. I find that you want to get rid of the change numbers around here. You don't want to be having change numbers in the bank once you get certainly past this note here. So kind of get rid of them at this point. Seems to work best to me. Should be able to go on that 9. And frankly, the numbers in general. Come on, we've got to win on that 9. There we are. And now we've got to win on a 2 for a jackpot. Go on, there we are. And now that's a no-lose gamble. So that is another jackpot. So that's still doing much better than we did in the previous video. You can see here, this is a lot tidier. And you can also see what I'm doing is ruthlessly sticking to this path. Sometimes, if it throws you off, the other alternative is to go, so you see there, you always want that note there, and you can go up, up, and all the way across, or you can go from that same note again, you can go across, up, across. Either way, you want to be taking in 2 of these 3 notes here. You want the double there into the no-lose, and that then guarantees you the final one for the jackpot, and that is how you will get the jackpots on this. Generally speaking, you're not going to be filling up the cash column. What have we got? Have we got a quid up there? No, have we got a 2 up there? No, that's a 3. So we'll go for a hold after nudges on a quid. Come on. Another. We're doing much better though. If you remember, I fucked about with it for the better part of an hour last time and was 10 quid up at the end of it. We want to be doing better than that in this video, but it's not a full empty. That's the other thing I did say at the start of the previous video, that it is technically an emptier, only really in a very specific circumstance. If the machine, I can imagine that if the machine had really been played badly and had a lot of natural value in it, and you took all the natural value out of it and then did the reversing, I could imagine that you might be able to empty it once. I don't think you'd be able to. So you could maybe empty a £125 hopper once if it really had enough value in it, but I don't think you'd be able to do it again because it does clam up. And what I'm going to demonstrate, this is why, by the way, I've got 2 copies of the machine running here. There is another one over on the right hand side which you can see, and I'm going to demonstrate that with the other copy of the machine. So we could do with another jackpot here. I'm probably about at the limit here. I'm going to get rid of that change number straight away. Oh, God. Oh, and you can see there. Now, that is what I call the fuck you board. For obvious reasons, that is the board where it just says no. You are not having anything. Because with that 60 quid in the bank, by the way, this machine will now be over percentage. I deliberately made a point of it not being much under percentage. It had about 25-30 quid in the player's favour, not much. Oh, that's quite good. So now, so you see there, super hold, I can get mixed 7s, but I'm deliberately going to avoid mixed 7s because the 2 quid start will put you past the first note. £2 is actually a bad start because it'll put you past the first note. You can see there it's given us a really bog standard entry there, 1 change number. Because you've got to be getting that first note in there, and now we're just kind of in the lap of the gods a little bit. Is it going to reverse? Oh, you twat. There is a point where it's had enough, by the way, but I don't think it should be there yet. I think this should still have another jackpot in it, and once in a while, a streak will come round. It does have a natural streak that comes round once in a little while. I don't like 4s. So let's see if we can go lower than the 6 there. Oh, we've got a 4 there anyway. We should be able to reverse on the... Yeah, we can potentially go lower than the 4 here. It doesn't matter as long as we get the other note. There we are. And now we should be able to go... To be honest with you, the bonus nudges filling up the cash stack doesn't happen very often. But we're just committed now to gambling over to nose gamble on... Oh, there's a shifty one. I don't like 3s. Oh, you fucker. This is... Oh, it's kind of at the point now where I should perhaps be reversing on 3s and 10s. If we get another 3 and 10, we'll try reverse on a 3 and a 10. See there, just get rid of the change number. Oh! Surely it won't kill us on the first. Yeah, this is the thing. I didn't think it'd kill us on the first gamble. I haven't been able to work out 3s and 10s. Oh, you can see there. That's another... Really, that's another fuck you board. Possibly should have just bailed there with the £60 bank. I was just hoping we might just be able to get one more jackpot out of it, but you could possibly make a case for bailing there with that £60 bank. Let's see if we can just get one more jackpot in the... there we are, come on. Once you're down to boosts and stoppers as well, that's generally it will... There we are, but we're back in, but you can see it's struggling a little bit here now. 2 change numbers, we should be able to get rid of that 3. Might get a pair bonus, we haven't got a pair bonus. No, we should be able to go for that. There we are. Oh, again, we stuck on a 10. Oh, now we stuck on a 3. I did say I would reverse on a 3, didn't I? But I don't know, I just don't think that'll lose. Oh, should have reversed on the 3. I said I would do it, and I didn't, and it cost me. That was a tactical blunder. And you can see also now it's costing for a board. That was a fuck-up. I should have fucking reversed on the 3 like I said I would. We'll go for numbers entry. We're struggling for boards here. That was a bit of a fuck-up there. To be honest, that possibly cost me there. You can see, once it tightens up a little bit, you can see that you're in a difficult spot. And I'll show you the long-term stats on this machine. Come on, you fudger. Put me in. Oh, look at this. Proper tightened up now, hasn't it? As you can see, really not wanting to put me in, and my profit's disappearing as well. I was in a pretty good spot when I had that £60 bank. I think, by the way, now that it's probably at the point where I don't need to reverse on 3s and 10s. I won't use a change number there. I've got a 12. I'll get rid of that 9. I think we should probably be... Oh, fucking hell. Give him some shit-ass numbers here, innit? We'll go lower than the 6. Ooh, that was a bit harsh as well. I'll be absolutely... This is quite annoying, because I did a couple of dry runs on this. And it didn't play this bad on either of them. It hasn't given me any decent hold opportunities there either, has it? So, sod's law, when we get the camera out... Oh, and it's not held again. Well, I can't remember what the exact stats were when I had 60 quid in the bank, but that was probably the sweet spot to get off it. It's a good example of how it can play. Once it's clammed up, I've just pushed it for... See if it'll hold the 2 for a bonus. I've just pushed it for 1 jackpot too many here. We'll go... Oh, that was... Oh, that's bad. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go for that because I don't want mixed 7s. Right. There's no world in which you want that many change numbers. There really isn't. We'll get rid of that one as well, see if it'll give us a pair bonus. It hasn't given us a pair bonus. And then we'll just go for the notes. Should be able to reverse on the 9 there. There we go. We'll go lower than the 11. We've got a 10. I don't think it'll be in reversey territory now on the 10. We'll go lower than the 4. Ooh, harsh, harsh, harsh. God, I can't remember what my actual stats were when I had £60 in the bank, but it's proper gone rabid now, hasn't it? And it's had well over 1,000. It's not. That was the other thing in the previous video. It was a little bit too close to a factory reset. I was possibly in a little bit too much of a hurry to get the previous video done, if I'm absolutely honest with you. So this has had well over £1,000 through it from a factory reset, and you're seeing in real time what a shite it's playing. And I'm actually nearly at £60 in now as well. Oh, I don't actually go. We'll have to do that, I suppose. But the problem is there, it can it has gone. That's lucky in that it did actually give us the note. Because it can very easily go past that note there. Go on. I'm going to go with I can't imagine it's going to lose on that 3. Doesn't really matter. The numbers are largely irrelevant. Doesn't really matter. There we are. And now we just... Fuck, it really made that one hard work, didn't it? Okay, I'm a little bit narked about how difficult it made that one. Phew, that was a bit of a shit.
The big one.
Well, we're back in profit, but not massively so. So we've got 75 in the bank. No repeat. I will just quickly try for one more. We'll see if we can get one more. But really, ooh, that was a funny old start, wasn't it? Do you reckon? I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that 10. Pair bonus is change number. What's my best bet here? Could maybe, if I can get all the way to the right, that'll do, won't it? I tell you what, go lower than that, because I reckon it'll give a 2 or a 1. Possibly. Come on, we need one more gamble after this. We've got to go lower than a 4 for a jackpot. Come on. Yes! There we are. Well, there we are. 2 in quick succession there. Thank fuck for that. There we are. So that's made it... Ooh, had a little bit of a shit run there, didn't it? If we can get... Sometimes it repeats on the jackpot. Bank limit. Oh, there's a repeat. Yes, okay. It's just come round for a natural repeat. Just pulled it back from the jaws of defeat there. There we are. Oh, I wouldn't have said no to another, but... So let's actually... What I'll do there is we'll collect that bank out and then we'll go through it, but in the simplest of terms... 4 and 9, they are fine to reverse on. The original CMA guide was wrong in that regard, and ever since I played these back in the day, in the wild, I had it as 4s and 9s were numbers to avoid. They're not. They are reversible. 3s and 10s you can sometimes reverse on, but it's not reliable. It's sort of like a little bit of a last hurrah. Just let the bank collect out there. Getting rid of the change numbers early on, that is definitely a thing as well. You want to be getting rid of those change numbers. You can use them a little bit just to help you there, but frankly, by the time you get to there, the second note, 3 knockouts, you want to have got rid of your change numbers because they do become a liability. So let's just go through where this came from. So if we go to the original video, here we are. This is the original video, and there were quite a few comments left on this. Some were more polite than others, shall we say. Some were entirely polite, but I get the point from what people were saying. Well, thank you to everyone who took... You can see there's quite a few comments on this video. Some in particular, that the information on the CMA was wrong. More than one person saying that it's fine to gamble against on 4s and 9s. Somebody else saying that they used to reverse on 3s and 10s. And a couple of people were saying that the path to do is the cash note. You can see on is the cash notes. See this comment here, 4 and 9 are absolutely fine to reverse. 3 and 10, once it's dead, were also fine. By all means, just pause the video and have a look at the comments. So I've left them all on there. Some of them were a little bit rude, but not to worry. So that was the first lot. It was all the comments that people left on the video. That gave me a decent chunk of new info. And also, this guy here over at Casinomeister, John0777, he's a UK, or was a UK fruit machine player back in the day. He's also again saying that 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 would very rarely lose, and after 5 to 6 jackpots we also learnt that 3 and 10 would do you unless you now applied the reverse to those numbers also. This is one of the critical things. I think this is the only person who suggested this, and he's absolutely right. Another thing we found was to get rid of the change numbers as early as possible. Having a 2 on one reel and say a 4 on another, we changed the 4 most times and it would drop a 1 for a no lose, or quite often a 2 for the pair match. I then got back to, there you are, that's the route. That is essentially the route. Or you can change it a little bit. Rather than going across to the second note, you can go up and across, but really that's what you want to be doing. You can kind of forget about getting enough bonus nudges to get all the numbers. One thing Jono said, that a route that he used to do was just go straight along the bottom, then up through the 3 nudges and then into the bonus and no lose gamble if you're doing the numbers. That does work. I tried it. It's definitely an alternative, but I don't think it's any better than just going for the notes. I also tried to get some, because I then started messing around trying to reverse the 3s and 10s, and I think Jono is correct again here, that in my opinion the reversing of the 3 and 10 are more or less a last resort. I personally high 3 and low 10 as you normally would for 90% of play. What he's basically, so yeah, you can see there, to be fair, in my experience, reversing 3 and 10 was only viable when the machine was basically on its arse. So we'd only ever do this once we were well up and the boards were taking longer. So the information that Jono kindly added to the thread over at Casinomeister, all of the comments that people left on the first video. There was also a few of us had a chat about it over at Desert Island Fruits, myself, Logopolis, Big J, and a couple of others. And the other thing, of course, and I do want to give a shout out here, because you may notice that these DXs look different than they were in the first video, and that is because we now have sparkly, spanking new Tommy C, or a Tommy C DX for this machine. So this machine has got a much needed modern rework, a brand new DX from Tommy C. You can see there it looks absolutely brilliant. Myself and Logopolis were play testers for this, which is why I kind of was able to put so much time into it. And then Tommy C released that over at Desert Island Fruits, and that is running the 0.3 ROMs. So straight out the gate, if you just download this from Desert Island Fruits, you will be playing on those brilliant 0.3 ROMs. So thank you very much to Tommy C for this DX, because the old DX was fine. It worked. It was functional, and it was kind of a product of its time. Things have moved on now, and it's great to have this machine sort of immortalised with a DX that really does it justice. But there were a few of us had a chat about it over at Desert Island Fruits as well. I carried on kicking this one about, and that was why I wanted to make another video about it. In fairness to myself, I did say in the original video, I'm not getting this perfect. I'm just kind of playing it how I used to play it. I know I'm not doing it bang on, but there were some things that frankly were just not there in the original video. So by the way, at this moment in time, we were actually, £48 up. So after that little jackpot repeat there, we were actually £45 up. So we are £48 up rather. What I want to do here is we'll just see if we can get one more board. Because I just want to see, I think if it's going to reverse on a 3 or a 10, this is when it'll do it. Because by the way, let's just have a look. We'll just have to go for a hold after nudges. Let me just bring up the long-term stats and just show you here. See there, it's had nearly £1,200 through it from a factory reset. I've really been fucking spannering this thing. It's had nearly £1,200 from a factory reset. And by the way, this one is set to 80%. I set this to 80%, so you can see now it is over percentage. We've taken it over percentage, so it's not going to be in a great mood. But I just want to see if we can see the 3 or 10 reverse. So we have got... Thing is, though, I would want to get rid of that change number. So let's go that way. And so we'll go lower than the 11. And then, you see, this is the thing. That may well kill me. You can see the machine is over percentage. Sometimes you'll get away with reversing a 10, but it's absolutely by no means guaranteed. I can't find a reliable way to reverse it on 3 and 10. So it most certainly, in my opinion, is not a full empty. That is something that I said incorrectly in the previous video, but I was kind of repeating the information that was in the CMA guide all those years ago. Now, have a look at this one over on the right here, because we're going to have a quick go on this. This is the same factory reset as the machine on the left. Basically, what I did, this is one layout to start with, factory reset, 80%, got £1,000 odd through it. Once it got to £1,000, or just over £1,000 through it, I took a copy of the one on the right, and then that became the one on the left. So these are the same factory reset, the same kind of machine, and then they branched out at about 1,050 quid to the one on the left. And that's the one that obviously I've just been playing. Now, the one on the right here, I carried on playing to absolutely push it and push it and push it. And this one on the right here, as you can see, has had nearly £2,000 through it. It's had 1,911 quid through it from a factory reset. I've managed to get it up to 89.64%. And this machine is actually set. In fact, I think it'll show us. If I open the doors, I think it shows us what percentage it's set to. You can actually see that saying up and over version 0.3. I think it puts the percentage up when you open the door. He said, there we are, 80. So this is set to 80%. You can see it there just showing, because that was the other thing in the previous video. It's set to 88%, which I think is unrealistic. So this one from a factory reset on 80% has had nearly £2,000 through it. And this is as good as I can get it. I've had it just over 90%. You see there, it's got a drift against it. So of nearly £200. So whilst it isn't a full empty, you can get this machine over percentage and you can keep it there, but you can't empty it. I also sent this over to Logopolis. I think when it had about 1,700 quid through it, asked him to have a kick around with it as well, see if he could do any better than me. And he couldn't. We can get it up to about 88, 89, maybe 90%, just about at the outside edge. And then it really goes in a complete fuck you mode and will not allow you. It will start costing for a board and it will just psychotically kill you until it has clawed enough back. So let's just see if we can get... But look at this machine, is well over percentage. Let's see if we can actually get a jackpot out of it. Even though it is over, it's like 10% adrift. It's got a deficit of 200 quid. Ooh, now we've got to go higher than the 9. Oh, it really doesn't really matter. One other thing that you'll notice, by the way, is it puts the numbers... Once it's dead, it puts the numbers way away so that you can't nudge in numbers. Reverse for a 4 for a jackpot on a machine that's got £200 drift against it. Oh, and it wouldn't quite let it happen. So yeah, I think it is true to say that this is not an empty. I think the original CMA missive about this machine pitched it as an emptier. It isn't. I cannot get this machine to go any further than about 90%, and once it gets to 90% or just over 90%, it goes into a full clawback mode. You will hardly ever see a bonus that isn't a boost or a stopper. I genuinely cannot remember the last time I had a jackpot repeat on this. I think theoretically it comes round once in a while, but I can't remember the last time I had a jackpot repeat on this. It really does clam up. So let's just see if we can get one, just to show you how nasty it can play when it really wants to. So we've got a chain. We'll go high, see if we... There we are. We have got a pair bonus. Then we'll go with this. Sometimes it'll just lose on 2s and 11s as well. On a proper fuck you board, it will just lose on 2s and 11s. So we'll go against the 8 there. Oh, you see there, it's just not having it at this point. But what we can see, of course, is that what you would never be able to see as a player is that this thing is way over percentage. You can see the long-term stats up there. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? Well, we'll go for selector because we want... we actually want to get £1.20 off this. That is a bad selector, because selector, when the machine's a bit happy, it goes way higher than that. But this is just interesting to... And I was... Oh, why did I go that? Sorry! That's fucking... Yeah, that's yapping instead of concentrating on what I'm doing. So we've missed the first note there. That was stupid, wasn't it? Let's see how... Well, I'm in a little bit... In fact, I've gone completely the wrong way now because... Oh, what do you reckon? It doesn't really matter because... Let's just see. So we've got a change number there. I don't think it'll kill me on the 11, so let's get rid of the 10. Let's see if we can salvage this one. Let's see if we can salvage this one from the wreckage. Oh, what do you reckon, Low? Let's try it. You can see there, this machine is way over percentage. It really needs to claw some money back. I will try reversing on the 3 here. No guarantee it'll work. I mean, if you're expecting the reverse on the 3 to work, this is where you would expect it to work. Come on. Yeah, you see, you just can't guarantee it. I cannot fight. If there is something I'm still missing consistent on this, I think I got lucky the first couple of times I tried reversing on a 3 and a 10. It did actually go for it, and I was like, oh, wow, this is the answer. But then it just stopped doing it. And that was when I went back to Jono and... Oh, it went up to £2 there. That was when I went back to Jono and asked him about it. And he said, nah, it's a little bit of a last hurrah reversing on a... Oh, so there you go again. Well, we've got to get that note. So, shall we reverse on a 3? There you are. You see, it worked. So it did actually work that time, reversing on the 3. Actually works. Sometimes it'll happen for you, but then it's not reversing on the 6. And this is kind of where you will get to it. You can see there that I had the percentage nearly up to 90%. Well, God, my fingers were in the wrong place then, sorry. So I think it's pretty fair to say that this is not an emptier. Logopolis found the same as me. He just couldn't get the percentage to go much above 90 long term because it just goes into a clawback mode. And I mean, how much have I put in here? So you see that I'm 15 quid in already. We've got close a couple of times, but it still hasn't had it. Let's just see if we can get the jackpot out of it. But we did pretty well. We were like 45 quid up on the one on the left-hand side. So starting off with change numbers, just get rid of them. Bonus nudges. You can see there. It does this, by the way. See how far away it's put. It gives you like one, but we'll actually keep a change number there, I think. 2s are generally safe. And then oh, fucking hell, you can see there. Just a textbook example there of why you want to get rid of the change numbers. I thought it might let me get away with that. The point of them playing this one on the right-hand side here is to show you how you can get the thing over percentage and you can keep it there. So whilst I'm not claiming it's an empty, that was a mistake. I was, oh, look at that. I was repeating what the CMA list said, that this was an empty. It isn't. That was wrong. But you can get the machine over percentage and keep it there. I'm going to get rid of that one. And then we'll go lower than the 5. Yeah, you see there, it's just not having it. And it'll do this. It can do this for kind of 25, 30 quid. Just to claw enough back, and then it'll kind of unclamp a little bit, and it'll let you have a jackpot. I'm not playing this one here expecting to win. More to demonstrate that the kind of state that it can get itself in. That's not going to hold, is it? Oh, I'm not going to give the numbers, rather. And really not. There, can we get it? Be a booster, a stopper, yeah. That's what you get. When it's on the bones of its arse, you will get boosts and stoppers all the time. And you will hardly ever see anything that isn't a... Well, let's go holds after nudges on a quid. Nope. So this gives you an idea of how nasty it can get. We'll just go for that, see if it'll hold the 1 there to give us a bonus. Nope. And, oh dear, we'll try and get one jackpot out of it. Go on, hold after nudges, no. What have we got up there now? Give it a bit of that, maybe? No. Try again. So, and again. Okay, hold after nudges, there we are. So,
You did it!
let's just see if we can get a jackpot. So, get rid of the change number. Oh, and there's a 3. What's your rating? Are we going to reverse that 3? I don't think it'll lose. I don't think it'll lose on the 3. Oh my god, it did lose on the 3. Ugh. Okay, fair enough. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It gets to a point when it unclamps a little bit, it'll start winning on 3s and 10s again. But obviously we're not quite there yet. Oh, multi-respin will put us in. That always puts you in. Albeit quite begrudgingly. We'll get rid of the change number. It has given us a pair bonus. Taxi! Well, we don't really care about the taxi because we want to get the notes. We want that note, so we'll just stop there. There! A classic example. 2 11s, lower than 11, and it kills you. So certainly, you cannot just keep taking jackpots out of this. And this is purely to demonstrate how tight it can play when it really starts to clam up. Why did I do that? Sorry, that was completely the wrong nudge there. It doesn't make any difference because the machine is dead. And what we at, like nearly 30 quid in now, and it hasn't let us have a jackpot yet. And that there will put another 3 quid in, and that will make a jackpot. Two jackpots worth rather, so we're not going to claw that back once we're 30 quid in. And yeah. Can we get... Let's go for that. Utterly playing like a piece of shit here. Very reluctant to put us on the board. Come on. Yeah, this is... And this is a machine, of course, this has been played very unnaturally. Because this has just been played non-stop here by me trying to reverse out the jackpots. What you would or what a machine would do in the wild is once you'd finished with it, you'd be reliant on normal players, poor normal players coming along and kind of loosening the thing back up for you for the next time you visited. But I would say, yeah, absolutely, it is not even tech. I think in the previous video. Oh, I say in the previous video, I know because I rewatched it. I subjected myself to rewatching it, and I said it was technically an emptier, but almost in name only, and it is not even in name only. It isn't technically an emulator. The only way you could empty this, you could empty it once, I think, if it had been left super happy by somebody who kind of really didn't know what they were doing, and it had enough natural value in it. Is it going to reverse that? It's not even going to reverse the 9 there. You can see all the way here, it's just refusing to have it. And this is what... I deliberately left this, by the way, at the point where I'd just had a couple of jackpots out of it. Just because it was nearly at 90% when I came along. So this is what out in the wild, I guess, you would be... this is what poor normal players would be doing on the actual player's behalf, is kind of filling the thing up. But... Come on, I'll be happy if I can just, there we are, we've got to hold after nudges.
You did it!
If we can just take one jackpot out of it. We'll get rid of the change number there, I think. And then we'll go higher than the 7. And then we'll go higher than the 8, that should work. And then we'll go... Yeah, don't that higher than the 9? No, still not having it. We'll just plug away at it until we get... Oh, what did I press there? Oh, that was... What? The fucking hell, Degsy. Sorry, I've just moved my hand and they're completely in the wrong place on the keyboard there. Can we get in with a single jackpot? This is purely to illustrate how rancid it can be when you've properly pushed it time and time again. This is how bad it can be. Certainly, and I did say in the previous video, they're not free wins, which I think you can have a machine where the wins aren't free, but it's still an emptier. I think Overload, fucking hell, I think Overload is an example of where the wins aren't free, the wins are accounted for, and yet it is a genuine emptier because you can take Overload further and further and further over percentage if you keep playing it with the emptier method, whereas a normal person would just get absolutely fleeced time and time again. So I don't think the two things are mutually exclusive, that you can't have an emptier if the wins aren't free. In very specific circumstances, that is a possibility, but certainly in this case, up and over, even with the reversing, it is capable of clamming up to such an extent that you are going to lose on it, irrespective of what you do. I mean, God, we're coming up to 45 quid now without a jackpot, aren't we? And you see, that's just shite, isn't it? I did spanner this. The last time I played it, I managed to get a couple of cheeky jackpots out of it, and it's really, 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 really having it back now, isn't it? Come on. Basic £1 entry. Get rid of the change number because it just doesn't like you having them. It's all about trying to get the reverses in. Ooh, so we'll go lower than the 5. There we are. Come on, one jackpot and I'll be happy. I mean, the machine is still, if we go back to the long term, you can see the machine is still way over percentage. Higher than the 7. Lower than the 4. Come on, this one. Come on, I'll be happy with just one jackpot from this machine. Doesn't matter really with the number. Okay, now we've got higher than a 9 for a jackpot. Just one jackpot. Come on, higher than the 9 for one jackpot. What can you do? What can you do? It's in clawback mode. So I think you get the point. You really do get the point there of how bad it can be. Oh, that's in. We're in. So now we're going to go... Again, I'm just going to get rid of the change number and see if we can get a bonus. Oh, come on. Do you think it would lose on the 10? Surely not. Surely not. Sure. Higher than the 10. No. And there we go. Fuck it. So there we are. What are we in there? 45 quid in. No sniff of a jackpot. So let's have a little summary and then I'll wrap this one up. So reversing on 4s and 9s. That was wrong in the previous video. Absolutely fine to reverse on 4s and 9s. It's not an emptier, not even technically an emptier. Once it's over percentage, it will clam up and stop you winning on it. It's not important to keep the numbers apart. I was a bit fixated on that in the previous video. You know, if you're reversing on a 5 when you've got, say, a 3 on the other high-low reel, doesn't matter. It doesn't actually seem to care too much about that. Get rid of the change numbers early on. That is really important, getting rid of the change numbers. Your route is to just go straight for the notes. And that's how you will get all the value out of it in terms of taking it as far as you can with the reversing. If anything, when it's still got some natural value in it, the reversing doesn't actually work very well. It's really weird. I'd love to know what's going on with the code in terms of how the reversing actually starts working and what's going on in the internal gubbins of the machines and the machine itself. But it does work, but only to a point. You cannot just keep taking this forever and ever. So I will say again, thank you to everyone who left the comments on the previous video. There's a lot of good information on there, all of which I took on board. To the folks, those of us who had the chat over at Desert Island Fruits about it, particularly to Tommy C for this DX, which is brilliant. I am so pleased that we've got such a good DX for this machine now. And also to Jono over at Casinomeister. We had a nice little chat about this machine, and he was the one in particular who gave me that bit of information about getting rid of the change numbers early on. The furthest I could take this was about from an 80% target to a 90% payout, and then it will just get in a mood like it did there. You can see 45 quid, no jackpot, and it was just losing. But when the machine's got a little bit of value in it, you can take the value out of it, and you can take it over percentage as well a little bit. And we will, I think at our peak there, we were £48 up on that one on the left, but it did play nasty for a little while. So I think this one now, I'm kind of happy in myself that I've got this one right now, I think. I also do believe it was worth doing a follow-on video because with the benefit of hindsight, I think I jumped the gun a little bit on the previous video. I was so excited to have these ROMs for the first time. Didn't get enough money through the machine from a factory reset. I was a little bit rusty. Didn't play it right. And of course, I was going off some inaccurate information as well. So hopefully that's kind of put the record right on this one and done this machine and the method on it justice. And do be aware that there is this Tommy C DX available now over at Desert Island Fruits, which looks absolutely fantastic as well. And it comes with the 0.3 ROMs ready loaded. What I will also do, I think, because I've got so much cash through this, just shy of £2,000, what I'll do is put this up over at Desert Island Fruits in the layout RAM and GAM file area, so that if you want to go and grab it and get this thing really well settled down, £2,000 through it, and over percentage as well. There's also an autoplay profile in there as well. In fact, let me just drag this down a little bit and you can have a look. It should, the autoplay profile is part of the layout. So if you download this from Desert Island Fruits with my upload into the RAM and GAM file area, you'll get the autoplay profile as well. So what you can do if you want to is download it, press autoplay, leave it for a couple of hours, come back, and you'll have a machine that's really well settled down and will also have some value in it for you as well. So there we are. That'll do for this one. Thank you very much for watching as ever. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll catch up with you next time and hope that you do agree that it was worth just doing another video on this machine, because I wanted to get it right, following on from the previous video, which I thought was not quite up to scratch, to be honest with you. But that's it for now. Thank you and goodbye.